Hello there. So, friends, as we continue on this journey of changing our relationship with alcohol, one of the things we need to make space for is that change does not happen in isolation. It happens in relationship with God, with our environment, with the people around us, and also, very importantly, in relationship with ourselves, in the way we speak to ourselves and take care of ourselves. When you make a change with alcohol, even if it has nothing to do with those around you, the patterns and relationships shift anyway. Sometimes these shifts cause super positive outcomes, and sometimes not so much. I remember feeling quite disappointed that I stopped drinking so that I wouldn't be as short tempered anymore. I wanted to be more patient with my kids, only to find that I was even more irritable in the months after letting go of alcohol. And when the outcomes are not so positive, like that friend who casually mentioned she really used to prefer the drinking you, or when we don't feel as good as we thought we would, it can really do a number on our progress and even cause us to slip back into old patterns. So, I want to provide you a helpful framework of understanding the effects of our quit drinking decision and the feedback that we inevitably receive. And that is through the lens of feedback loops. So that we don't personalize so much the negative outcomes, but just see them once more again as information, which can really help how we relate to them and what we see to do next. So, a feedback loop is simply the response we receive internally or externally that either reinforces a new behavior or pulls us back toward the way we used to be. There are two main types to understand. The first is a reinforcing or positive feedback loop. This is feedback that supports and strengthens the change we're making. For example, you stop drinking and a friend says, "Wow, your skin looks amazing. What have you been doing?" Or, "You just seem brighter lately." There's often a natural internal response of encouragement or a sense of reward, and that feeling can reinforce the behavior. So then we want to keep going. It doesn't have to be big or dramatic. It's even small moments of affirmation that can quietly strengthen or motivate us toward continuing on this path of change. The second type is called a balancing or a negative feedback loop. This is feedback that gently, or sometimes not so gently, pulls us back toward the old pattern. For example, a friend might say something like, "You used to be so much more fun when you drank." Or maybe your partner says, "I miss when we used to drink together." Even when it's well meaning, this kind of feedback can stir doubt, discomfort, or just a pull to return to the old you, the old familiar. And it's not just external feedback from other people either. The internal world of ourselves play a big role here too. Emotions like shame, blame, harsh self judgment can act as balancing or negative feedback loops. They can undermine the change by making us want to retreat back into old habits where things feel known and predictable and a little bit numb and quiet. On the other hand, emotions like compassion, grace, connection, and understanding create a very different kind of internal environment. Research shows that when we treat ourselves with kindness during behavior change, we build resilience. We're more able to stay with discomfort, more able to continue forward, bounce back from setbacks, less likely to abandon ourselves when things feel hard. So, what this framework gives us is a simple but really powerful awareness. When we change, there will be feedback from others, from our environment, from our within ourselves, and that feedback will either support the direction we're moving in or feel like it's pulling us back toward what's familiar. The invitation here is not to overanalyze every comment or emotion, but to simply notice, is this helping me move forward or is this pulling me back? And from that place, we can create a little bit more space, a space to pause, a space to question, a space to glance at the one we love and to ask him for his light and his wisdom. And in that space, we get to choose what we want to do. Because when we can see feedback for what it is, we don't have to immediately just react to it, like the absolute truth. And that, my friend, creates an opening to curiosity and choice and therefore freedom.